Street lights on early lights, what's so lovely we have, and the twilight's passing, blue skies and bright stars through the yellow sun.
Please remain standing, the flag is not being lowered.
Thank you so much, Mariachi Navy SEAL Cadet Corps, for performing and presenting the colors. This assembly was organized to commemorate the veterans who have served our country across the 6 different branches. Please remain respectful as we honor the sacrifices they made in times of war and peace. Now, can everyone please direct your attention to the screen to view a slideshow of our fellow Bulldog family members who have served or are currently serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. As the slideshow plays, the MDHS Concert Choir will be singing "This Land Is Your Land" to represent what our veterans have fought for.
This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me up in the skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, to the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. And all around me, a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me.
This land is your land, this land land is my land. From California to the New York Garden, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me.
As the sun came shining, then I was drawn, and the wheat fields waving, and the sun held sun. The sun was lifting, the sun was on.
This land was made for you and me. This land is yours.
This land is your land, this land is my land.
To the New York
To the New York Island, waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Thank you so much, Concert Choir, for that wonderful song. Now we'd like to take a moment to honor the staff members here on campus who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. First up, please welcome Ms. Thogerson. Ms. Thogerson served in the U.S. Navy for 6 years. One of her favorite memories of her service in the Navy was on her third deployment of her Squadron BP-9 to Diego Garcia. She was on a deployment to Masira, Oman, and on the flight there, her pilot allowed her to sit in the co-pilot seat for a few minutes. She took the yoke and flew the aircraft. It was a smooth ride for her in the front, but apparently in the back of the aircraft, it was a little bumpy for the crew. Yes, the pilot was still in control of the aircraft, but for a few minutes, she was a pilot in the Navy. Next up, we have Mr. Brewer. Mr. Brewer served in the U.S. Coast Guard for 8 years. The biggest lesson he learned from joining the service was how much potential he had, but it was only unlocked because he was pushed to do hard things. His favorite memory about the Coast Guard was living on an Iraqi oil platform and spending time with troops from all around the world. He also loved the hands-on experience of using advanced equipment and taking part in tactical training exercises. Next up, we have Coach T. Coach T is not with us right now. He's serving his students. But Coach T served in the U.S. Navy for 8 years. His favorite memory of serving in the Navy... Oh, Coach T, come in on stage. Coach T served in the U.S. Navy for 8 years. His favorite memory of serving in the Navy was going to church. Related to that, a lesson that he learned while serving was to go to church. have Mr. Moreno. Mr. Moreno served in the U.S. Navy for 3 years. Being in the Navy allowed him to learn English, stand up for himself, and meet people from every part of the world. One of his favorite memories from serving was to go underwater because he could see blue all around him, from the ocean to the sky. He felt like he was in a different world. Thank you so much to these staff members for not only serving our school, but for also protecting our country. Once again, thank you so much to our staff members who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. Now, I would like to welcome our Vice Principal, Oscar Moreno, to speak about his experience serving in the U.S. Navy. Give it up for Mr. Moreno.
This bright light feels weird. Buenos días a todos. Qué gusto verlos a todos. Bueno, no puedo ver a nadie, pero qué gusto verlos que están aquí. Good morning, everybody. So nice to see you, even though I can't see too many people, but I know that you're there. I want to start by thanking the student body for organizing this assembly and for inviting me to the keynote today's event. It is a true honor being here today. And for all the veterans in the room and the ones that we were able to see in the PowerPoint slide, let's give him another round of applause, please. It's a true honor being here today, being able to speak in front of all of you, and especially because I get to be in this amazing high school that it honors days like today that not all high schools do, and so I'm really proud of the leadership in the school and the student body for putting this together for our community. So thank you so much for doing this again. As all of you know, and as it's been said, my name is Oscar Moreno, and I'm the new assistant principal. I get to work with freshmen, I get to supervise the freshmen, I get to really get to know them well, so it's a true honor to be able to speak in front of you all today. I want to ask you this question as I get to know the clicker here. I wonder how many of you have thought about your journey. For most of you here in the crowd, you're starting your lives, you're 14, 18 years old, and so I wonder how many of you have thought about your path. What is your path going to be? Where do you see yourself in 5, 10 years from now? For me, when I was 14, 15 years old, I came to the United States. So I was a freshman in high school. I never thought that I would leave Mexico, and I never thought that I could experience something different like live in the United States. And so when I came to be a freshman in high school, it was a really, really difficult experience. It was traumatizing for me. I never thought that I could learn English. I didn't think that I was capable of learning English. And it was my freshman experience was really difficult. Cuando yo llegué a Estados Unidos tenía 14, 15 años y nunca pensé que iba a hacer algo con mi vida y nunca pensé que iba a poder aprender inglés porque me costó mucho, mucho trabajo. So, imagine where I was. I never thought of a life like in the future. I never thought, oh, what am I going to do in 5 years? I never thought of that. And so I put up this slide because I want you guys to be thinking about that. And this, for me, that's what my life was. I took so many different paths, and I didn't know which path was going to be the right one. But eventually, it got me to be in front of you today. When I was in high school, I was a good student. I went to school because I had to, but it was nice because I got free food. I got a warm place to go. But really, I was an invisible student throughout my experience. I was super quiet, super insecure, and Fortunately, wrong clicker. So here I am now, 60, 70 years old. And a friend of mine says that he's going to join the Navy. Well, I don't even know what the Navy is. In Mexico, I know we have military, but it wasn't like, it's not a big deal like it is in the United States. If you grew up in the States, you know about the different branches, right? Like the Marines, the Air Force, the Army, the Coast Guard. And so I didn't even know. He said he was going to join, but he says, hey, you want to go? And I said, where? And he said, the Navy, man. And I said, what? It's like we can go together. And so I said, oh, I can go with you? And so he could teach me, he could guide me, he could help me. So we went and we enlisted. And so when we enlisted, I was sent to San Diego, California, and he was sent someplace else. And so here I go, all by myself, on my own. I'm alone, I'm scared, I've never been away from my family, and I don't speak English. So that was my first experience going away from home. And one of my first experiences in the Navy was to really stand up for myself, to really advocate for myself. And I started to practice English, and so that was a great opportunity. I jumped the slide, I'm glad I have that in front of me, because before that, I joined that, I was able to work the fields during the summer, so I picked your typical strawberries, blueberries, and apples, and then I got my job at the cannery. And when I graduated from the fields, my first real job was working at a gas station. And to me, it felt like a real job because I was actually wearing a uniform and I had hours. And so that was my first real job. And that was my job before the Navy and after the Navy. Because after I finished with the Navy, I came back home and I didn't know what to do with my life. So I went back to the gas station. The good thing about the Navy, the military, is that they have so many opportunities for you to grow. And this is where life took a different path for me. The path of going to school. And the only reason I went to school, it was because they were going to give me money so I could go to school. And I couldn't pass up that opportunity, so I took that opportunity and I got what's called the GI Bill. And so that's when I learned how to read and write. I was 21, I was 22 years old. Cuando yo aprendí a leer y escribir, yo tenía 21 años, 22 años. Y ya grandote fue cuando entré, y gracias a la militar, porque el dinero que ellos me dieron para poder ir a la escuela. So this is a different path that I took, because yes, I joined the Navy, and that was pretty easy, but going back to school was really difficult for me because I really hated school. School was not a place that I enjoyed being. It didn't make me feel good. It made me feel dumb. And because I couldn't read and write in English, it was something that I didn't think that I could do. So I'm really proud that I did that because I was able to get my bachelor's and my master's in education, which allowed me to be in front of you today. And because you need those certifications to be able to get that level of profession. But money is not it, right? It's not all. Even if somebody just gives you money and you don't have the assurance that you can do it, if you don't think that you can't do it, then it doesn't matter how much money you have, right? You have to push yourself. And this is another path that I took. Growing up in Mexico, the teachers used to let me know how dumb I was. And that's the word that they use, dumb. And so then when I came to the United States, then I already had that foundation as who I was as a person, a dumb human being. So then coming here with no English, I just felt dumber. And so when I went back to school after the military, I was really fighting those insecurities. And I came across this book called The Mindset, because it's really about your mindset. And I started shifting my own mindset into a growth mindset. Our brain, everybody here, we are born with this brain that we decide how much we get to push it. We decide where we want to take it. And once you're able to do that with your brain, and if you put the work, you can accomplish incredible things. And so I put this slide up because to me this is an amazing thing. Today, we're continuing to study the brain because we don't understand it fully. And so it is an amazing thing. And if anything that I want you to take away from today is that you have the ability to really do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it. I want to finish by sharing my family with you. Both of my boys, they're both in college now. And when I was in high school, when I was your age, I used to worry about the future. I was very worried about the future. I didn't know that I was going to have kids, but I assumed that someday I would have kids. And I would think, I don't want them to grow up poor like me. I don't want them to be like me. I don't want them to be insecure like me. And so I was really focusing on what kind of life am I going to provide for them. And so a lot of the pushing to improve myself was because I wanted to change the trajectory for them. And so I'm really proud of them because they're both in college. And I couldn't have done that without my wife, who happens to be in the room with us today. And I'm really happy that she was able to come today to spend today with me. And so that's her in the picture. And that's her dog, Lily. She is our faithful dog. So, to finish is, what is your life journey going to take you? I want you guys to be thinking about that. As some of you might not feel that you're that good at reading, that you're not that good at writing, or I hear a lot, I hate math, or I don't get math. And that is not true. Your brain is capable to do whatever you push it to do. Entonces quiero cerrar con esta foto de que dice ¿dónde te ves tú en 5 o 10 años? ¿Qué quieres para tu futuro? En esta foto tú puedes ver qué tipo de camino tú puedes decidir para ti. ¿Qué quieres hacer en el futuro cuando tú crezcas? Something that I said yesterday as I practiced my speech is like, in my present, 40-some years ago, I was really worried about my future. Today is my future, and I like my present because of the work and the struggles and the paths that I chose to take to get here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno, for that encouraging speech about your time in the military. Thank you to everyone for attending our Veterans Day Assembly. Please note that there is no school tomorrow in observance of Veterans Day. Head back to your first period and wait until the bell rings to dismiss.